Miss Skirvin 84, hey! This is my third year homeschooling. I'm starting classical conversation in the fall with my 3 little girls. I also went to a practicum about 2 weeks ago here in Arizona, and we signed up and are ready to go. My question for you is, what do you like most and least about classical conversations? And can you see yourself in the program until all your boys graduate? Okay. She said, I just purchased your half mom, half amazing shirt, and I'm excited. Yay! Get yours too, everyone. Get your half mom, half amazing shirt. Thank you, Miss Skirvin84, for ordering my shirt and for posting your question. So, how do I feel about classical conversations? Positives, I like that I have a streamlined skeleton, a whole layout for the year of what I need to teach my kids. And if you're not familiar with classical conversation, right here I will insert a video that kind of flips through the basic foundations guide for classical conversation. So foundations basically gives you 6 topics to cover: math, language arts, science, history, geography, and Latin. So pretty much it tells you what to do. It's a 24-week program, and it tells you what you are to teach in each subject every single week. And there's memory work that accompanies it and memory songs that helps the child retain the information. So every week there's a new set of 6 things that they have to learn. I love that about classical conversations. They can learn about the Kush mining gold along the Nile River one week, and then you'll switch it up and you'll get something different, and they'll sing songs and learn about it in a way that's fun and interactive. And the only thing I have to do is maybe look for like a lap book that accompanies what we're learning about, books from the library that accompanies what we're learning about, and that's it. That's it. The structure is there. The format is there. I just add in things to really make it pop, and that makes life a lot easier for me, rather than having 18 different curriculums, rather than having a rather than having a history curriculum and a separate science curriculum and a separate geography curriculum. It's there. They give me the structure, and I put in what I want. I make it as complex that week or as light that week as I want. That's the main thing I love about classical conversations. Another thing is I like the community aspect of it. When you enroll in classical conversations, you are a part of a community that meets weekly. So your child gets that classroom setting with peers that are their same age. They get to have hands-on science activities. They get to do fine arts activities. They learn about orchestra. They learn about great artists. They learn about just a variety of things. Artists, types of music, basic art forms. They learn a lot. They learn a lot. And that's what I love most about it. They can do it with peers in their age group. One thing that annoys me about classical conversation is it could be a bit pricey. As you have more kids enroll, it can get up there. It can become rather expensive. I feel like it's worth it because technically, imagine if I had to buy a separate science curriculum, a separate history curriculum, a separate fine arts curriculum, a separate geography curriculum. All that is already covered in that. I don't have to buy any additional supplies for that. That is covered on our 1 day a week of our classical conversations community. But it could be a bit pricey. And also to have that 1 day taken away from your week could be a bit of a challenge. So you really have to be very efficient and productive with the other 4 days a week that you have at home teaching them, because you know you're going to be losing 1 week for the community day. But pretty much that's it. Overall, I love it. Do I see my kids doing it until high school? I'm not sure. At this point, I love the foundation level. So I don't know how I will feel when they move beyond that. But for now, I love it, and we're going to stay in all throughout foundations. And another part that I love about classical conversation, that you can have 3 kids, 3 different ages, all learning the same exact stuff, which is phenomenal when you have a larger family. Okay, so next question is from Family Life Vita Familiar. How you doing? How do you schedule your school time? What do the kids do while you teach one of them? And how do you schedule cleaning, household chores, cooking, etc.? Again, my day in the life video that I referenced before, which will also be in the description box below, kind of breaks that all down. After I'm done schooling them, after I'm done spending my one-on-one time with each kid, I usually do my chores. And on Mondays, I do Mop It Up Mondays. Tuesdays is Toilet Tuesdays. Wednesdays is Wipe It Down Wednesdays. Thursdays is Tidy Get Tossed Thursdays. And Fridays when I complete all the laundry and it's folded up Friday. So I devote about an hour to that particular kind of chore a day. And that's it. And then I move on to doing dinner after that. I try my best to write out a meal plan every week. It does not always work, but I do have a few meal plans written out in my planner that I can flip back to for inspiration, so to speak. So again, in my day in the life video, I kind of make reference of my planner, my meal planning, and my chores and everything like that. So guys, definitely check out that day in the life I'm a homeschool mom video. It tells you everything about how I do everything in my day. Miss Petito, I'm starting classical conversation in the fall. I have an almost 4-year-old and 17-month-old. Any advice for beginners? Great question. Don't expect the world. Depending on your child, he or she might soak it all up and know everything, or he or she may not. My oldest son is a sponge. He's very visual and auditory in terms of his learning process and the way he learns. So classical conversations for him, it's a breeze. He hears it 1 or 2 times and he knows it. For my now 5-year-old, he did the entire year and he was 4. It was a struggle. He was the youngest in his class. He would not want to participate some days. He would want to sit with me. He spent the first 2 weeks literally crying almost every single day because he wanted to be with his older brother. But eventually he warmed up. So, and the funny thing is that when they were doing the review for, at the end of the year, do a review carnival, one of the questions was, what are the parts of an animal cell? And he was able to answer it fluently. And it blew my mind because I'm here thinking I'm wasting my time and he's not getting all this information, but he is listening and he is learning. So my advice for you is it really depends on your child. You say you have a 4-year-old, depending on how he or she is, if your child tends to sit down, is not a very active moving learner, they probably do just fine. My kid was a struggle because he was a mover and a shaker. But the fun part is that the tutors are awesome and there are movers and shakers in their kids who are sit down. And she was very active with all of them and included him in any way that he could be included. And there was music and movement involved. And that's what makes foundations awesome, is because they teach to your child's level. So all the little ones, the ABCdarians who are like ages 4, 5, and 6, it's all active, it's all movement, and it changes as they get older to suit the child's developmental needs and developmental levels and the type of learning that they appreciate and thrive from the best. So it really depends on your child, and definitely, like I said, go into it, do not expect the world. Try it, take it one day at a time. It gets better year after year. Okay, so the next question is Shelly828. Hey Shelly, how often do you purge the materials and how do you decide what to get rid of? I posted a picture on my Instagram that talked about me purging the classroom. And what I do is I simply take everything off of the shelves. I lay it out either on the floor or on a table and I decide what worked for us and what didn't work for us. And I just get rid of things that just don't work. I'm okay with that. If I struggle to get through a lesson with my kid every single day and it was an annoyance to me, then the curriculum has to go. Because if I'm not enjoying the process, no one's enjoying the process. So if you have a curriculum that you love and your kid loves, it stays to be passed on to their younger sibling. If it annoyed the life out of you and your kid didn't like it, it goes. At the end of the day, you have to be able to teach the curriculum. It has to work for you. The curriculum has to work for you. If you have a curriculum and you can't stand it, don't use it. Anything that's going to add any stress to your life as a homeschooling mom, it's a lot of work as it is. Don't just try to stick with it because Lisa said it's an awesome curriculum. It works for her, but it doesn't work for you. It's okay to sell it. It's okay to post it on eBay. It's okay to give it away. But at the end of the day, it has to work, number one, for mommy, because you're the one who has to teach it. And secondly, it has to work for the child. If you found that your kid resented it, give it away. If it was stressful for your child to get through it, if your baby was literally breaking out in hives just sitting down doing this, it's not worth it. So again, you're not a slave to the curriculum. The curriculum must work for you. So that's the very first thing I think about when purging and getting rid of curriculum. Did it work for us? If it works for us, it stays to be handed down to the next sibling. If it didn't work for us, it goes. That's pretty much how it works for me. Or if we just never touched it all year long and we didn't miss it and you can't see yourself implementing it into your plan next year, then give it away as well. Or you can hold on to it in hopes to be able to use it. But that's another thing. You could actually be making money from something instead of just holding on to it just in case. So it's really up to you at that point to say if I'm going to keep or toss. But number one, it has to work for you. If it doesn't work for you, it goes. And number two, if it's been sitting on your shelf collecting dust and you did just fine without it, most likely you don't need it in your life either. Okay, Jen, mom of 8. Do you devote a big section of your house as a homeschool room, and what curriculum is your favorite? The main area of our basement is our homeschool room, and I will insert this year's classroom tour of what our classroom looked like this year. I changed it up pretty much year after year. This will be our third formal year of homeschooling, but I've been with my kids teaching them, all of them, for 4 years now. But here's our recent tour right here. And yes, I have a devoted area for homeschooling. Do we always stay in that area? No. Oftentimes for science or for anything that's messy, because there's carpeted in the basement area, we go upstairs and we do it in our dining room or kitchen area. So just because you have a homeschool room doesn't mean that that's the only place you homeschool. We go outside on the deck on beautiful days. We run around the grass in the backyard. We homeschool in the kitchen. We homeschool in the dining room. You're never locked in. I mean, your classroom is beyond the 4 walls. But our main place where we usually start our day is in our classroom, which is in our basement. Also, what curriculum is your favorite? My classical conversations curriculum, because like I said, it covers a whole bunch of stuff. My next favorite is Singapore math. Both of my older 2 are on Singapore math, and my youngest, I'll be introducing Singapore math to him as well. I love Singapore math. Very hands-on. The concepts are very similar to what they're teaching in Common Core. And it's very colorful, very, very hands-on, like I said. And after that, I would say that I've been liking Christian Light Education for Language Arts. I've used Becca and Christian Light Education, and I must say I just like the straightforwardness of Christian Light Education, the fact that it includes spelling, it includes grammar, it includes handwriting, it includes reading comprehension. All that is included in the lessons. So those are the 3 curriculum that I've been using over the past year all together, and it's been flowing, and I intend to stay with those 3 things. Okay, what are your goals? Oh, sorry, no. Bailey Stevens asked, hey Bailey, do you still school during the summer? Because I noticed that you hadn't finished your letter of the week with your youngest. Thanks for noticing. No, I don't homeschool through the summer. I don't. I need a break mentally. And also, I did not finish my letter of the week curriculum. We actually ended at T. My last actual video for my homeschool work shelf activities on my YouTube page was a letter R, but we got to letter T, and then we stopped because the year was wrapping up. I had to get my homeschool review stuff together for my oldest son. I had to wrap up some concepts with my now 5-year-old and my oldest son. So I stopped putting together the work shelves. But we did a lot. We did a lot. And he knows all his letters and his phonics sounds. So my letter of the week shelf work, and I'll insert the playlist right above here. I have so many videos from this year, from the year before. So many videos. You could completely create a letter of the week Montessori inspired shelf work curriculum from all of these videos. And he learned a lot, and the main reason why I even did it was to give him something to do so that he didn't really distract from me teaching the other 2. But I put in a lot of work, and he learned every letter sound, and then some.